Hello everyone. Sorry that I've been late. My brain's been slow all day. And I've been trying to figure out what to draw, but I finally settled on something. Yeah, so, hello Rivet, hello Celestial. Why is it double sending? I'm not sure. Oh, I'm just lagging. I see. That soda tastes sweet because of the humidifier. I'm sorry, dear. I've been wanting to use it more lately because I haven't used it in a while. Especially because I figured that it'd be good to help me get some sleep probably by already having like lavender in the air. Cause my little axolotl is infused with lavender and I sleep better with him like sitting by my head. Hello, hi Caesarian, how you doing? It shows a 1 on mod view. What does it look like for y'all? It's fine. It's like cooking lavender. Oh dear. I'm sorry, dear. Normal. Alright. But yeah, everything looks fine. But as I take a sip of water, let's change. Now, it's been on my mind in all actuality. Roll, what is it today? Yeah, what is today? If I'm remembering right, it's the day before your birthday? Because I knew it was coming up. Otherwise, it's the equinox. And I worked overnight. I've had to work on my birthday every single year. But the idea of working overnight is awful. I'm sorry, dude. I mean, at least you'll be free to have some free time soon. I get off at 6 a.m. You have to be off when have to be at work. Oh no. Alrighty then. But happy early birthday. I hope at least your shift goes well. But today, at least, since my brain was lagging on drawing anything else, one thing I have been really considering, because I was stuck between actually getting an idea down on paper of what certain OCs looked like that I have not put down to paper, like, ever. Not in a while. Ever. Or draw characters in wedding outfits and practice with watercolor. I decided to just get some characters down because that's more characters I could draw in wedding outfits later. I go in like 45 minutes, so... Still, I hope things go well, at least. But, true to title, I've been wanting to focus on some Yautja OCs that I have just not been able to, like... Wait, why? I accidentally duplicated a tab. I meant to go to this one. My tabs are confusing. Because I have references for my things. I'll be putting this here for input. Is lurking. I think I'm thinking on getting back into drawing. I'm debating. I mean, drawing helps, even if it makes no sense. I'm exhausted. My productivity juice in my brain just feels like a sound of yeah. How do I get them? Yeah, huh? I mean, it ain't y'all's fault. Let's see. Go to my keys. So. Okay. I actually was afraid for a second it wasn't gonna change right because I looked and I saw, oh, the hotkey for Flora brings up the menu. The menu on Google Docs. Oh well. Either way. Now, one of the biggest things I've been wanting to get put to put to paper in terms of Yautja OCs was an OC named Cleric. I'm actually feeling like this music is a little too loud, but I think that's just me. Yeah. That feels a little better. While I'm looking at it, want to know what triggered the automod? I can imagine. Yippee! 25 straight. That's good. I'm trying to get my brain together. That word is just... Of course it does. Alright. Anyways, I'm trying to get my brain together. I'm trying to get it together. I have no words. My brain's trying to scramble for thought. But these are characters I'm wanting to try to make so then I can at least make PNG tubers of them. I guess one of the 7 words you can't say on TV. I mean, maybe. It depends on the TV show, I guess. But, like, at first I want to start off with Cleric, because Cleric I have not ever drawn before. Like many others. I do want to get an idea for them down. I feel like I need to bring my tablet closer. I'm drawing with shoes, but Cleric doesn't wear shoes. I mean, even though they probably should. I got the base pose of the You're Lost Mothman joke. That's good. I thought it was just You're Lost Mothman. That should be a meme. But it's like, You're lost, my guy. Let's see. Because that's a better picture. Because Cleric is a very specific kind of Yautja. I don't know if y'all have ever heard of it. I know Riven has, but I know otherwise probably not very familiar. But if you've seen the movie Predators, that's with an S, then it's the ones that are really big and, like, more intimidating looking. Cleric's one of them, but a bit different. Let's see. Because I don't think they have a picture necessarily of when their mandibles are shut. Then again, they mostly have them, like, kind of propped open anyway. Yeah, I'm starting to think something's keeping the pen thing down. Yeah, that's all it was. I finally figured that out. Let's see. if I remember right, they said that they look like they have more of a snoot. A very boopable snoot. I know if you boop a Yautja, you're probably gonna get got. Keep looking to see, because their head shapes are not the same as normal. Because their dreads are more swept back. Switch my arm out a little. Don't like this sizing. trying to remember. Their little paw feet look a little... Yeah, they look shorter, like more stout. But they still have a dew claw. But they don't have as long as toes. They're literally more claw than anything. Let's see. I do think I want to draw, in terms of practicing Cleric's outfit, I do think I want to at least, like, change it around a little. Like, in terms of how I usually draw them, because... That's my phone. But... Cleric, I will be real, is like one of the few characters I have that has an actually tragic backstory, per se. So Cleric's actually pretty quiet and reserved. You're gonna give them their normal outfit. What it is I wanted to layer their outfit in different colors, essentially, so I knew what I was drawing. Because this is just fur. Yeah, this is just floof. You know what? That actually might help a bit. This is floof. They actually don't usually have very high neck outfits, I don't believe. I mean, they usually do have neck armor, actually, so... Cleric usually has, if I'm remembering right... They usually have some, like, straps to their legs. But, Cleric does have, like, one very important necklace. And... I think, if anything, that necklace would be a little higher up. You can definitely say cleric is one of the more mythical. They're not a Pokemon. They're not a Pokemon role. But definitely one of the more mythical sort of characters I've made in terms of being a Yautja. Which still not quite, like, out of the ordinary, per se. They're definitely very D&D coded. Otherwise, Cleric's uniform outfit is, like, pretty... I'd say pretty bland-ish. Let me move, say, a little down. think she had like a heart like mark. Fix this line. Trying to think. I think a fur belt would be nicer. Definitely would balance out the floof on top, per se. Cleric would have wrappings a bit more around the knees. There we go. It's coming along nicely. Thank you. But this is what I got for cleric. This is what I've been like thinking of being their appearance.
Yeah, I might need to save, yeah. Let's see.
There we go. Don't want to lose it. No, I don't. I do not want to lose it. Keep in mind, I know, like, a lot of the different Yautja, like, their head patterns are not going to look the same, and that's okay. But it's just that it's a little difficult to grasp at some of them, because if you've looked up the what the super predators look like, they have like just a bit more of a, I guess you'd say, more like in-depth rigid design. Like, they don't just have a simple cute little coat pattern and that's it. They have a bit more to them than that. I do want to change around Cleric's eye here. There we go. Save, just in case. Now, for color scheme, Cleric's a bit set in an extent, but let's see what we can do. Because when I say set, it's like, I have a set idea, but it's a little hard, I guess, to put in the words, aside from quite a bit of, purple. Because Cleric, I wanted to make different from the others. I wanted to make them all unique, and I thought about, you know, because Cleric's part of a very specific faction, would probably make sense if Cleric was actually of a very specific appearance. Some of the lines were a little too thin. Sure. One was real thin up here too. There we go. Get those. I realize my alarm's been going off. But since it's such a thin spot, why not? The faction he's from, like, he's from a faction, but super predators are different. They do wear mostly leather armor. So it's mostly like faded, like leather gauntlets and whatnot. There's such tiny details that are teeth by hand. See here. I think I'm getting it, like, the way I'm wanting it to be. here's where things get a little fun with Cleric, at least. And that's like one of the Yautja characters in the movie. Cleric has colored tips. Oh, hi Miss D, how you doing? Hello, how you doing? First, thank you for the subscription, but since I was mostly in just a doodle mood, we're saving Metopia for later. But like right now we're basically trying to get down a few Yautja OCs. I've been meaning to get down onto paper, but I have not gotten around to it, and I finally have. And this is the character Cleric, who is a super predator. And they're from, essentially, because you have Predator 1 and 2, they're from the third one, which is Predators, plural. And they're one of the super predators, but they're a little different, and I don't just mean an outfit. But we'll get to what makes them so different soon. Because right now, it's time to try getting to get their tresses colored in. Because Cleric does have like colored tips. Kind of like the main berserker. Like Riven and I mostly just call him by the name he went by like a bit in the script. And that was like Mr. Black. But that was because that was literally what he was called in the script, and I was like, I mean, especially because like it was said like he wore a lot of like stained black armor, I think. And he had a lot more like darker markings, and he was like extremely terrifying. Even having spikes on his tresses, on his dreads. And I was like, yeah, that's valid, but the fact they're calling him Mr. it's amazing. Looks pretty neat so far. Thank you. But let's see. It's Cleric. Let me change the sizing of this down. Cleric, of course, has more of a stain. A lot. Their tresses are already quite a bit longer, but they have a longer like dye pattern. That's another thing about them. Make sure that part's dyed in. There we go. Clear that pattern for when I need it. There we go. By the way, thanks for telling me about Sprout Fight. It got me out of my art slump. That's great! Because I was like bashing my own head of what do I want to draw for Sprout Fight, and then I was like, I realize it now. Because I want to draw a different OC for every single art fight event, because I know art fight itself, I'm going to be drawing a lot of people's characters, some with my own. But I wanted it to be more, I guess you could say a bit more, like, unique per se. Let's get... Let's see. So it's really fun to look at all the different like the different fonts and then not know what half of them were. Because I think I was using Times New Roman before. I'm just slowly scrolling through the text with my cursor. And there we go. Cleric. Now let's do a small flavor text. I like to call them the berserker subspecies. Because I can tidy that up. Let me change the color. Yeah. Are we back? Oh, never mind. We should be. You know what? I'll just use the ruler. Why not? Oh. Oh! Like, Rustard! Ouch. Yeah. I got a cartoon injury bump on my leg. I collapsed carrying a microwave. Don't worry, I'm okay. Are you alright? It's a microwave! How, like, are you okay? Okay. I fell onto the microwave. That does not change anything. Not in my opinion. It's the fact of, like, that has to hurt. There we go. That still sounds painful. Yes, it still sounds painful. It's a microwave. Hang on. Do a trick. All visible. Cause then I could move this a little closer. But as the flavor text says though, Cleric is actually very naive and also very, very sweet. However, this is only bound to get him into some kind of trouble because he's too sweet, he's too trusting, and if you've seen how other Yautja are, that's prone to getting you killed. You're still alive. It didn't hurt, I'm surviving. That's good. Question, how did you fall into your nuker? That's actually a very good idea, or a good question. How did you fall? I was carrying our microwave into storage and then my legs gave out on me. Oh no. I'm sorry, just like, because of Riven, when someone's legs give out from under them, I almost panic. Yeah, ouchie. Yeah, very big ouchie. But as long as you're okay, that's what matters. So, yeah, that's Cleric. Because true to Cleric's namesake, they essentially act like a healer. But Cleric has a lot more of a punch to when he is in a fight. But he's still too big of a sweetheart. He's still too sweet. Like, for his own good. Now, next would be dipping into the Marvel and Predator comics, because just the one with versus Black Panther and versus Spider-Man. Versus Spider-Man looks so cool. I really want to read it, but I'd have to buy it on the little Kindle app. But I have versus Black Panther in physical copy. I really want to get Kills the Marvel Universe though. It's just like that fact alone. Just you see what it's like when it's like, okay, they try to get down to business, but they still fail. Like when the communication between the brain and the leg stop for a second. Yeah, I know that maybe because my back injury has taken most of my leg's functions. I can run halfway around Epcot, but a microwave is what makes my legs give out. Ooh. The last break's over. Back to work I goes. Can't wait to see this finish. See you next time. See you later, Misty. I hope you have a good rest of your shift. And I need water. I need to get water. But it was a sip. But this one character, like I said, a massive dip into versus the Predator versus Marvel, the whole Marvel universe, but it's a sense of creativity I like to take into practice, simply because you never know how creative a Yautja will get until it finally happened. You finally happen to come across them. I sneeze once and I'm sniffling for good. I need to take medicine when I get the chance. If I remember, of course. Had some chamomile tea. That's good. Tea helps with a lot of things. Trying to do side effect eepy. Oh, it will make you eepy very, very fast. Um. If anything, she's gonna need like a more like back straight kind of posture. And it's simply because of how she is. Let me pull up one of the members of her clan real quick. There we go. Will be a definite run with an idea. Because yeah, I can see how the armor in one it looks like it's like it looks layered almost. The armor of this clan she's from, but I'm going to... I'm going to make her stuff a little different. So... let's see how well this turns out, because I'm just gonna be real. This Yautja is essentially based on a ballerina. She's based on a ballerina. So, yeah, she has the typical. She would have the typical crown. So. Um, I remember they also have a brother. Their brother's name, by the way, is frickin' Graveyard. just name them Graveyard. I mean, it's a very intimidating thing to have them named Graveyard, but still, I just wish the other brother got a name. Or that we knew what they were supposed to be named. Either way. Go ahead and make maybe a little line here. I think that's the end of the playlist. Yeah, it is. This character's pretty whimsy, so let's do the night theme. It looks like a roofage for their... And they have horns. They have little horns. And the temptation to make her a unicorn crossed my mind. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that to the sweet girl, no. like their dreads are rather thin from what I've seen because they're heavily stylized. But let's see. I'm starting to really think of like, yeah, it has to like look like proper dreads, but it doesn't have to make 100% sense because look at her brothers. Look at their dreadlock styles, and it'll make sense. She has her goblins are funny. She has really buff arms. think she's a ballerina. If she's a ballerina, like, some of her muscles are going to be really, really... Like, they're going to be really, like, big. Because ballerinas have to carry a lot of weight when they jump and land. Because actually, look, because I was like, wait, does it make even the slightest amount of sense that she would be extremely strong in such a manner? Oh, and then I found out, oh no, it actually would be incorrect if she wasn't very, like, muscular looking. Especially for what she does. Yeah, per her fighting style. It could look like she's standing more straight. But she has like a bit of a lean. Because she also has... You could... I don't have any water! I'm sorry, but I cannot fulfill your request at this moment. I have no water. I have to get up and go get some. 1 second. With her very leg warmer-esque, like, leg cuffs. Now let me go get some water. I'll be right back.
Oh.
Hi.
Hi.
You sent me a request I couldn't do.
That's why I said hold on, because you said you didn't have any water. So
I didn't see it! Okay, now I see it.
Yeah.
Go before I throw lavender oil at you.
I already smell it.
Yeah, but a humidifier.
Yeah, it's right there. And it lights up, that's cool.
You will smell like EP juice.
Look, man, I already got a headache. I'll be right back.
Let's make her a little broader, if anything.
There you go.
Thank you.
No problem. I'm gonna take some Benadryl because this season decided to play hacky sack with my
I can't fully hear you. What?
I'm gonna take some Benadryl because this spring decided to play hacky sack with my sinuses.
I mean, I wouldn't put it that way, but
It just hurts, man.
I know you're hurting, dear. It's fine. I was gonna ask you, like, real quick, because I am not used to drawing very muscular characters.
Clearly.
But I mean, but she's a ballerina who uses like hefty weights.
Mm-hmm.
Have to sneeze.
Bless you.
But that's the thing. It's like I don't know if her build, because I'll make her like more bigger. But it's the fact of I don't know if she's technically within what would be expected of her physically, because she's wearing weights on her forearms and forelegs, or in her lower legs, her calves. But she's also a ballerina, or based on a ballerina, so she would already be like pretty strong in her legs.
Right.
But that her like her arms, I know she'd have like she'd probably be like thicker in her abdomen, right?
Around the abdomen and waist would be a little thicker because the weight on her ankles.
But she's also weighted in her arms, so how she wouldn't look like a JoJo character when pirouetting, I don't know. But I mean,
yes, the JoJo memes. They will never die.
But I mean, it's that fact alone. It's just because I was wondering, because I'm not used to drawing like more like muscle-bound characters, and
I mean, a good shape to start with for muscular characters are usually rectangular.
I mean, I've never gone with that shape like drawing thing.
I know.
I've never done it, and it's just that
a lot of
my
artists
natural
use shape language, especially in cartoons or anime. They use a very
specific
shape language.
Shape, yeah.
Hell, even Nintendo uses shape language with Mario, Luigi, Wario, and Waluigi.
Well, even then, it's just a fact of she's supposed to be a ballerina and whatnot, but it's the fact of like I just really like to think of the fact because she's a ballerina that is a warrior by trade, but it's the fact of but she is disciplined training herself with weights that are to her not too heavy, but to everyone else it's like another object could hold the weight, and they just kind of lurch forward a little because it's like they did not expect it to be that heavy. She makes them look very light.
That's because she's been training with them constantly.
She has been. She slowly built up the weight over the years, and now it's just so heavy. People are wondering how she's not hurting herself, essentially.
Yeah, you tend to make very slim, ambiguous characters, I've noticed.
Ambiguous, you say.
Yeah.
Cleric.
I know.
But Cleric is trans, so that's the point.
Right, you never really lean into one or the other.
Yeah.
I mean, when you first started out and made me a birthday present years ago with Origin, he was very slim, and you really couldn't tell he was a man except for the bushy mustache.
But that's because I think I was still getting used to drawing.
That was when we were in high school.
But also getting used to drawing on a Chromebook, too.
That was when we first started dating.
But even then, it's that fact.
God, 11 years ago.
But even then, it's still that fact. Just, I'm wondering if, technically speaking, I should change any of her proportions, like in her shoulders, maybe.
Maybe make her shoulders a little chunky.
A little, I guess you'd say, broader.
Yeah, make them a little more broad.
Because they space out a little because muscle, not necessarily her bones, but she would, I guess, look broader.
I mean, look at me, I'm broad as hell.
True. But it's
For God's sake, my mother can stand behind me and hide completely.
One or the other.
Again, I'm broad, which is why a lot of people say I would do great in football.
No.
No. No, thank you.
Either way.
Yeah, make her a little more broad in the shoulders.
Yeah.
Other than that, her musculature seems...
pretty accurate.
Seems alright. Then again, this is the first time you've really drawn a muscular character, but it seems...
okay.
Seems okay.
I need to practice.
You do.
But that's what...
This is what this is.
It's getting an idea on what they're supposed to look like, because I can just go and make a proper reference later.
Actually, standing in here, my sinuses feel fine.
it's a humidifier.
Mm-hmm.
So
Didn't you say it's like humid air helps you get rid of illnesses faster?
more moist air, not instead of dry air. It helps you prevent you from getting colds, I think.
Mm-hmm.
One or the other.
A
but
neat fact. Okay.
A very neat fact, yeah.
Still gotta get some Benadryl.
Yeah.
Love you, sweetie. Glad I could help.
Love you, thank you.
No problem.
These are oy vey as he walks away. Maybe not too far out. There we go. I look at the time and I realize it's getting a little late for the shift I have to work tomorrow. But we're getting really close to having something. I'll do a quick outline of her armor and then I'll maybe finish her off stream. So then like I can share it later so y'all can see what I mean by a very, very strong ballerina. I think she would have like a loose tress or two, simply because her brothers have one. Again with the sneezing and the sniffles. So, because again, their armor looks layered. I could see she'd have a proper breastplate, much like her brother, her older brother. But it looks more, I guess you could say, like designed to be light. She'd have the wrapping necklace of like different strands. And from there she'd have bands. Underneath. Because I don't know if she'd have anything around her shoulders. Like, to keep them free to where she could hold them up to an extent. I realized she'd also have something over her feet. Maybe trying to think. She wouldn't just have bands on her feet. That's not how it would work. For anything where her claws would usually splay out, she'd have something to keep them together. Because she'd have something like the typical pointed shoe. Because yeah, they have a form of footwear, but it like latches on underneath. But she'd actually need something to protect her toes. So, see, yeah, that actually works. Works out big in the long run. Instead of just some bands. So from there, Let's see. Because they have a little bit of hip armor. I think kind of like the younger brother, she would have more so cloth than anything. I think she'd have a bit of hip armor, but it would be very light. I mean, I guess if it's to match. In this case, she does have markings. Because, like, her brothers look like they have tattoos. There we go. But I think I'll end things here. And I'll finish her off stream. And then I'll share her later. Because it is getting quite late. But, in the very least, we have Cleric. Clerical finished. Had fun. That's good. It's just that I know it's getting late and it's about to be a lot of people's EP time. So let's get ready to unwind for the rest of the night. And I'll see you guys later. Tomorrow we'll finally do Miitopia and followed by Pokemon Leaf Green because I was just in more of a drawing mood than I was a Metopia mood tonight. But I'll see you guys later, and y'all have a good night. Alright? See you later.